Good morning. Welcome. Thanks for joining the offerings when through my ever-changing schedule at the moment. And I hope that whoever this finds in perfect timing. And today I'm just going to do some deeper stretching, kind of take it slow. I've personally been working really hard, so both physically and on the energetic plane. So just taking a moment to dive a little deeper in, maybe get into some of those areas that have been neglected. Just allowing your eyes to close. Bringing your attention to your breath. Sorry, there's some allergies in the air today, so if I'm sneezing, hopefully they'll calm down for the class. There's a little bit of that going on. Just beginning to sink in a little bit deeper. Beginning to lengthen the breath, drawing it deep down into the belly, all the way up through the rib cage, into the chest, and taking a pause, and slowly exhaling. Let's do that a few more times. Inhaling deep into the belly, rib cage, chest, pause, and release. And again. All the way up to the top and pause and release. Continuing on your own for a few more breaths, nice and slow, nice and deep, beginning to calm the mind, and just beginning to let go of any thoughts that may be circulating, staying with the breath. Letting go for the next 45 minutes or so. Any to-dos. There's nothing to do right now other than be here. Be present with yourself, with your body, with the earth that supports you. Just becoming fully present. Affording yourself the time to just be. And the more we practice this state, the more we can bring this state with us out into the world, into our daily lives, becoming ever more present. Continuing with the nice slow breathing throughout class, go ahead and gently allow the eyes to open, switching the cross of the legs. Inhale, arms up, Nice straight spine, reaching through the fingertips, expanding through the rib cage into the back body. Drop those shoulders down, away from the ears. Keep drawing the crown up. Begin to spin the pinky fingers in and back towards the back of the room. One more deep breath in. Exhale, right hand to the mat, left arm over, reaching out through the fingertips, coming into a nice deep bend for pressing back into that right hand, creating some space in both side bodies. I want you to roll that shoulder back, that left shoulder back, opening across the chest, a nice lateral bend. Continuing to open up the lungs, breathing into that left rib cage, feeling it expand. Maybe you can begin to feel between each rib. Feel as the rib cage moves up and away from the spine. Can you feel any little spots of tension? And with your exhale, see if you can release some of that. This is an active pose. I'm still pressing into that right hand. I'm still pressing through those left fingertips, and on your next inhale, up through center, nice and tall. Exhale, left arm drops, right hand over, drop, 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 and then pressing into that right hand, creating that space. Reaching through those right fingertips, keep reaching as you breathe. Now feeling that right rib cage expand out. Feeling into any points of tension. Exhale, releasing them. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, up through center, releasing the hands. Go ahead, release your feet out in front of you, Dandasana or staff pose. Flexing those feet, maybe rolling a little bit of flesh out from under those sit bones, getting nice and grounded. Rock a little from side to side, coming to even weight, even pressure between each hip. Gently tilting your pelvis forward, extending the crown up, nice straight spine. You're going to tuck that belly button up and in, activating those core muscles. This is where I want you to feel your form coming from. This is how you're holding your spine nice and straight. So you shouldn't feel it in the back. You're using your core to hold you up. Go ahead and inhale those arms up overhead. Dropping those shoulders down, away from the ears. And exhale, release, interlacing the fingers. All the way to the webbing, still flexing those feet, pressing those palms forward, squeezing those shoulder blades together on the back. Inhale up. And wherever your hands come, keep squeezing those elbows together. Keep working those palms up and back as you draw your shoulders down away from the ears. Still lifting through the core, belly buttons tucked. And exhale, release. One more time, switching that cross. Palms forward, shoulder blades squeeze together. Inhale, palms up. Keep reaching up and back. And Exhale, release down. Nice work. Go ahead and begin to walk your hands down the legs, leading with the sternum, pulling through the heart. Nice straight spine as you forward fold. Feet are still flexed. Big toe points straight up. Inhaling back up for a moment. We're still going to take this one more time, but roll those thighs in. Coming back to the nice straight spine, walking those hands forward. Allowing those shoulders to drop down away from the ears. Taking some nice deep breaths into the backs of the legs, into the back body, backs of the shoulders. Release the head and neck. On your next inhale, pressing up to center. Go ahead and cross your legs. Crossing at the ankles, knees out in front of you. Still coming to a nice straight spine. Bring those hands back to the knees. We're just going to work into the neck. Nice and slow, nice and gentle. No sudden moves. Go ahead and drop that right ear towards the right shoulder. Just breathing here for a few breaths. On your next inhale, nice and slow, up through center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Again, holding this for a few breaths. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. One more time, center, drop. Center, drop. And then you're going to come forward with the chin towards the chest. Right ear, right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Nice and slow. A few more rotations. And then, if it's comfortable for you, maybe you take that full rotation. Nice and slow, smooth if you can. And switching sides. And on your next inhale, go ahead and come back to neutral spine, neutral neck. And I want you to take your arms nice and wide. Left arm under right. Elbows crossed, spinning around. We're going to work into the shoulders here. Clasp your hands if you can. Maybe your fingers just touch your wrist or palm. You're going to lift those elbows up, gazing up. Breathing into the backs of the shoulders. And down, drawing those hands away from your head, bowing towards the floor, and all the way up, lifting the shoulders. Exhale back down. Now we're going to make some figure eights. inhale back to neutral spine and release. Arms wide. Other side. Opposite cross. Inhale up, elbows up, gazing up. And exhale down, bowing, pulling the hands away from the forehead. Inhale up. Exhale down. And up. And down. Coming back to center and making some figure eights. And release to center, releasing the arms to the floor. Beautiful work. Go ahead and uncross the legs. And we're going to come into a spinal twist. So a couple options here. We want the hips to remain grounded. So maybe you just take the left foot over right and hook or hug. Maybe you also take that right foot back. If you can plant that left hip back on the mat. If not, go ahead, keep it straight. Again, hug or hook. Right, left arm comes to support. And inhale before we go too deep. First press up, extending through the crown, extending through the spine. Exhale, deepen into the twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Couple more breaths. One more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Release to center. And crossing the legs. And taking the other side, choosing your foot position. Can you plant both hips on the mat? Hug or hook, right arm supports. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. Two more deep breaths here. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Coming back to center. As you release your feet, go ahead and take the heels wide. Wide, a bit wider than the hips, supporting your back with your hands, extending through the chest. Let's go ahead and wake up those hips, dropping the knees to one side, and then the other. Gently pressing the knees towards the mat, lubricating the joints. Inhale, center, drawing those knees in. Go ahead and make your way onto your hands and knees. Take your big toes together, knees wide, press back, child's pose. On your next inhale, coming back forward, stacking those knees right under the hips, wrists on your shoulders, coming to neutral spine. Go ahead and drop that belly, raising the crown and tailbone. On your exhale, press back into cat, arching the spine. Inhale forward, drawing those knees and palms towards one another. Exhale back, pressing into the roots of the fingers, into the knees. A few more breaths, flowing through cat-cow. How much movement can you get in your spine? And on your next exhale, coming back to neutral spine, tucking those toes under, pressing those hips up and back, Adho Mukha Savasana or down dog. Go ahead and walk those feet out to the edges of the mat for a wide down dog. Bend your knees deeply, press your hips up and back, chest presses forward and down. From here, begin to press those heels towards the mat. Take a gaze back. If you can see your heels, just swivel them out a tiny bit more so they're just out of view. And then roll those armpits under towards your ears. You'll feel a spreading across your shoulder blades. Crown of the head drops towards the floor. Breathing here. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other, beginning to walk the dog. Opening the hamstrings, opening through the calves, and then pressing both heels. Go ahead and step your feet back together. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, bringing it through into the mat for pigeon. Back knee comes down. Top of the foot comes to the mat. You might move your shin towards parallel to the front of the mat. If you do so, please flex that front foot, that right foot. You're just going to take a peek down and see that your hips are even or squared off to the mat. One is not dipping down or bumping up. And once you've found that, you might begin to walk your hands down onto your elbows. This can be a pretty deep hip stretch. Option to also come down onto your forehead if that is part of your practice. And you're just breathing here into the back of the hip. Releasing through the jaw. Releasing through the eyes, the forehead, the neck. And just breathing into any tightness in the back of the hip. With your exhale, releasing some of that tension, releasing some of that stored emotion. Past traumas and emotions often get shoved and stored into the hips. Just taking this opportunity to release some of that. On your next inhale, if you came down onto the elbows, press back up onto those palms, tucking those back toes under, shifting the hips up and back, releasing down dog. Let's take a few breaths here, down dog. And on your next inhale, left foot comes up, three-legged dog. Exhale, placing it through. Maybe you adjust it towards parallel flexing that left foot, dropping that right hip down if needed, taking a peek at your hips. Are they even? Another way to do this is to put your hand on the back. From here, go ahead and drop down, if it's available to you, onto your elbows. And again, if you're holding any tension in the face or jaw here, go ahead and take this opportunity to relax. Relax through the face. Just taking a couple more deep breaths. If you came down onto your elbows, go ahead and begin pressing back up onto the palms before tucking those back toes under, releasing the hips, down dog. Let's go ahead and come onto our knees. We're going to make our way onto our backs. I'd like to begin to close with an inversion. I'm just going to take this simple one. If you have an inversion practice, you want to do headstand, handstand, please feel free. Otherwise, we're just going to take shoulder stand just for maybe 10 breaths to get the feet up over the head, to kind of increase our circulation, allow that nice, fresh oxygenated blood flow to the brain. Inversions are great for increasing your serotonin levels or reversing the appearance of age. It's one of those poses that really helps us recreate or keep our youthful appearance, help with insomnia, just so many incredible benefits to an inversion. So if you're taking shoulder stand, when we start this one, it's really important that you remain with your head facing forward, gazing up. You don't want to look to the side. That puts your neck in danger. So if you need to watch first, go ahead and watch first, and then begin. So drawing the knees in. You're going to tuck those elbows in close to the sides, drawing those shoulder blades together under the back, and then rolling the hips up and catching them in your hands. Continuing to walk those elbows under and those hands down to your hips or lower back. From here, you might flex, you might point, which is that mix between a flex and a point, where you press strongly through the balls of your feet. And then you're going to begin to come towards parallel by squeezing through the core, or perpendicular to the ground, I should say, by squeezing through the core, squeezing through the glutes. You might play here. You might open the legs. Maybe backwards and forwards. As you're ready, beginning to drop the feet over the head, releasing the palms of the hands to the mat behind you, bending at the knees, beginning to roll down one vertebra at a time. Continue with the legs nice and slow. Keep the back end of a leg lift, activating the core, pressing that lower back into the ground nice and strong until your feet come to the mat. Go ahead and draw your feet in as close as you can to your body. We're going to come into a Setu Bandha Sarvangasana or bridge pose. Beginning to roll the spine up, pressing into the feet, hips come up, squeeze those knees together, squeeze the glutes, keep pressing through the hips. Maybe you roll those shoulders under and clasp your hands under your back. Keep squeezing those knees in. Do not let them flail out to the side. Protect those knee joints. And then beginning to release the shoulders, rolling down one vertebra at a time, tucking, the tailbone comes last. Drawing the knees into the chest, to a nice egg pose. Maybe you rock from side to side, releasing the low back and the hips. And as you release your feet to the mat, go ahead and take that left ankle, crossing it over the right knee, drawing the right knee up, grabbing behind the thigh or in front of the shin, figure 4, keeping that top foot, left foot flexed. As you pull that ankle in towards the chest and press that tailbone back down towards the mat. Exhale, release, switching the cross. Left knee comes up, right foot stays flexed. And drawing that ankle in, pressing that tailbone down. Exhale, release as you uncross. We're going to go one more time, this time with a nice spinal twist. So left ankle back over right knee, both knees drop to the right. Option to add on today, you may straighten that left leg out. Maybe you hold onto the thigh with your right arm. Flexing that foot, opening that left shoulder out to the left, left arm out to the left, or maybe cactus arm, bending at the elbow. Getting a little deeper stretch across the shoulder here. And if it's available to your neck, go ahead and gaze out over that right shoulder, left shoulder, sorry. Go ahead and look back out over the right, bending that left knee back in, releasing up through center, replacing the hips or repositioning the hips. Go ahead and cross the right leg over the left, twisting to the left, maybe straighten that right leg out, holding onto the thigh of the left hand, opening that right arm to the right, or cactus hand, cactus arm, bending at the elbow. Maybe closing your eyes for a couple breaths here. Go ahead and bend that right knee. If you took it straight, release back up through center, releasing to the mat. Go ahead and lift your hips up and just flattening across the back. The tailbone drops back down to the mat. Taking your legs out long in front of you. The feet are a little bit away from one another and they fall out gently to the sides. Pressing into your elbows, lifting just a little bit to draw those shoulder blades together under the back. Allowing your biceps to rotate outwards as you open the arms, palms up. Palms are a little bit away, or arms are a little bit away from the body. Go ahead and find that nice straight neck. All the way down to the spine, reaching out through the crown. Can you find that center point at the back of the head? Is there even pressure into the mat through each shoulder blade? Are your hips evenly pressed into the mat? Now begin to relax through the hands and the fingers. Begin to relax through the forearms, through the upper arms, biceps, triceps, shoulders. Begin to relax through the chest, through the neck, the head, the forehead, the ears, all relax. Your tongue rests gently in your mouth. Your lips slightly parted. Your eyes sit like water in your sockets. Smoothing out your forehead, releasing any last tension in the face. Your hips become heavy against the earth. Your thighs relax. Your shins and calves and knees relax. Relaxing through the ankles. Relaxing through the feet and toes. dropping deeper and deeper into relaxation. Supported by the earth, drawn to her by gravity, you feel supported. You feel at ease as you drop deeper and deeper into relaxation. Your mind begins to release its grip on thought and form, bringing its awareness to the breath. It follows the breath like the waves of the ocean, with each inhale and each exhale, you further relax. And as you relax, you begin to empty out deeper and deeper into the nothingness. You're emptying and emptying, and the void becomes bigger and bigger. Your container more expansive, more free as you empty out and empty and empty and empty. You let it go, let it go, you let it go. And as the container wants to fill back up with words, you let it go, you let it go. You keep letting go, empty, empty, empty. Focusing on the breath, focusing on your relaxation, deeper and deeper. Beginning to stir back into the space, back into your body, taking a deep breath in through the nose, sighing it out through your mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes as you bring some movement back into the body, drawing the soles of your feet to the mat, squeezing your knees in, giving them one more hug. using your bicep as a pillow, fetal position. Pressing into that top palm. Slowly making your way back to seated or Sukhasana. As we meet back and seated, back in the position that we began class in. Let's just close out this energy, sealing in our practice. Go ahead and take your thumb to point your finger. The other 3 fingers point out straight in a mudra. Allowing the eyes to close for just one more moment, dropping that chin in towards the chest. And a word that has been coming up a lot for me lately is trust. Trust. I can trust divine source, the universe, whatever you like to call it, to take care of me, to take care of you. Take a breath into that trust. Trust. Trusting your body's divine wisdom, its divine intuition to care for you, to guide you, to signal you. You can trust that your bodies know. Your bodies know what it needs for healing. Trust. Falling deeper into trust, knowing that you can trust your intuition to guide you. That's a hard one for a lot of us, I know. Oftentimes, myself included. Trust. And closing out, trusting first and foremost in divine source. And taking a deep breath in and allowing your eyes to open. Bringing your hands to prayer position, thumbs to heart center. You go today in full faith and trust that you are cared for, you are provided for, and that you are infinitely special in divine mind. That all your needs are accounted for, and that everything you desire is easily and effortlessly making its way to you. May you go and trust. Namaste.